Hi, I'm Sam Flying Kite, and welcome to the Horror Show. This week, I'm reviewing Arcadian with a classic Nicolas Cage right there. You can see him. You'll love to see it. This movie came out in 2024. This movie is rated the R. It's an hour and a half. It's a 5.5 out of 10 on IMDb. About 28K people voted on that. It's a 7 million budget, and the box office was a little over $1 million, so that's a bit unfortunate. It's directed by Benjamin Brewer, and Nicolas Cage is in it. Jaeden Martell is in it. Jaeden played, who did he play? He played, I forget the character's name. The main character in the first It, the new It, which came out in like 2017 or whatever. Mike? Was his name Mike? I think his name was Mike. He played Mike in It. And Maxwell Jenkins is in it. He's gonna be in the new Scooby-Doo show, I think, on Netflix. And then Sadie Soverall, Samantha Coughlin, Joe Dixon, Joel Gilman, they're all in it too. Although, I think they're all really, like, low, no names. So, like, the only person on there that you should know for sure is Nicolas Cage. And then you might know Jaeden Martell, and then you might know Maxwell Jenkins. In the near future, where normal life on Earth has been decimated, Paul and his two sons, Thomas and Joseph, have been living a half-life. Tranquility by day and torment by night. Every night, after the sun sets, they face the unrelenting attacks of a mysterious and violent evil. When Thomas doesn't return home before sundown, Paul must leave the safety of their fortified farm to find him. A nightmarish battle ensues and forces the family to execute a desperate plan to survive. Honest, I really like this movie. I mean, I thought it was a nice movie. I think the best thing about this movie is the moral of the story, and then, of course, the story itself. That being, it's, talking about family, but more specifically, brotherhood. And I thought that was pretty interesting. Because there's not a whole lot of movies that talk about that kind of stuff, at least modern movies that talk about that kind of stuff, right? I really like the ending, but there's a part of the ending I really like, which would be a bit of a spoiler, so if I do talk about it, it's gonna be a little later. I think the worst thing about this movie, though, is some CGI in it for the monsters, which, like, I mean, I get, right? You don't have that much, and, if you only have specific, utilities, then, it's unfortunate, but anyway. And then certain character choices, not like main character choices, but like just side character choices. And then, like, there's a part in the movie, well, I guess I'll start talking about it. So when Thomas doesn't return home and Paul goes out to find him, Paul finds him, and in the process, they're fighting some of the monsters, and he ends up blowing his hand off. I don't think he blows his hand off. I think he might. No, wait, I don't remember. He gets injured and is in, like, a coma for, like, a day or two. But, see, Thomas goes out to this other farm to help these other people out a bit, because there's this girl there he really likes. And so after, Paul is hurt, the brothers take the father to the farm to try to, hey, can y'all help us? And the parents of this place are like, no, we can't help you, but, like, Thomas could stay. It's like, bro, I don't know, man. I mean, like, I feel like that was kind of BS. But anyway, I thought that was a really, like, silly moment, but that just, that kind of ended up bringing about the whole, like, okay, the twist of the Brotherhood moral of the story. And I was like, okay, I liked it a little bit. But, I mean, overall, I thought this was a fine movie, and for this to be 5.5, and then for the box office to be a little over $1 million, I feel like it should have been more. But I also remember when this movie did come out, I really wanted to go and watch it, but I couldn't because I just didn't really have the time to go watch it. So that kind of sucked a bit. And that kind of makes me think that, like, maybe because there's a lot of movies that not only do I physically have, but I also have seen, after it's in the theaters. And these are all kind of like smaller movies that do make it to theater. Wow. And these are all movies that, do make it to theaters, but they're like smaller movies. So like people like probably don't really know that much about them, and they might see it, but they're like kind of whatever about it. But, this movie is like, this is one of those movies, and it just makes me think that, hey, maybe I should try to go out more whenever, like, some random movie comes out, because it might be pretty good, or it might be okay. And I think this was, kind of in between good and okay. It's not terrible. So if there's someone out there who's like 1 out of 10, they're like, it wasn't like this, and Nicolas Cage wasn't like this, and blah, 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 blah. And like, if there's anyone who's like 10 out of 10, they're like, Nicolas Cage, Nicolas Cage, Nicolas Cage. Right? Because, I mean, Nicolas Cage, he's goated. He's always goated. But then again, if you hate Nicolas Cage, then yeah, I suppose you might hate this movie too. But I like Nicolas Cage, and I thought he did a pretty good job with this role. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of movies that I have seen after the fact, and it's just like, man, I kind of wish I saw that in theater. Like, this, kind of wish I ended up seeing it. Cobweb, I wish I saw that. There's a couple others I can't quite think of it off the top of my head, but it's just that concept. Like, Cold Storage is probably going to be one of them, except that was a bit more bigger than these two movies, but I don't think Cold Storage was as big as, like, say, The Backrooms or Obsession. And if it was, my bad, I still should have gone and see it, because that seemed like it was pretty good. If there's a steelbook for it, I'd love to get it, right? But anyway, yeah. So I'm Sam, Flying Kite. This is the horror show. I reviewed Arcadian this week, and I think you should go check it out. I don't know if it's free anywhere. I mean, is it a Shudder? No, it's not Shudder, but it is RLJE. Well, I didn't know it's a bit Shudder, so it might be on Shudder. But if you want to physically get it, at the very least, it's like $10, maybe $15. I don't know, probably. I mean, I think when I got this was like $10 at Walmart. So, I mean, if you're a collector, yeah, it's a fine addition to your collection. But if you don't, and you're just wanting to just watch a movie for funsies or whatever, this is definitely not a background movie, right? This is not a movie you put on while you're trying to, do work. Because there's a lot of things that happen in the movie that are kind of like you have to be watching. You think you could listen, but I would say you shouldn't. But anyway, yeah. So I think you should watch it if you're able to. I think it was a fine movie, and yeah. Anyway, I'll see y'all next week. Goodbye.